All right, shalom to the elect throughout the whole earth. Shalom. As always, first and foremost, all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Wabrakakwadash. Peace, blessings, and much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like, pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons and daughters also. The water, that means thank you in the Hebrew, to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to the cross for the world of Israel and the world of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. So I figured Proverbs 20 and 24 would be a good place for me to start this time on this lesson. And it reads this. Excuse me. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So this verse goes against what people know as free will. Well, there's no such thing as free will. We ourselves don't determine our destination. We don't determine how our life is going to end or how our life is going to be. People believe that based off of hard work, you'll be able to do this and get that kind of money and be successful. Not if the Heavenly Father doesn't open that door for you. Not if the Heavenly Father doesn't put the Spirit on you to chase that particular lifestyle. See, everything comes from the Heavenly Father, and that's what we have to understand. To be righteous or to be wicked, we don't make that decision. It's all determined by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Proverbs 20 and 24 again. Man's goings are of the Lord. So the Lord, he determines our footsteps. How can a man then understand his own way? So how could a man say he has free will? Plenty of times, men have made plans, those plans have failed. Things didn't go exactly how an individual wanted them to go or wanted it to go, because we don't control free will. We don't control that. People can't hurdle over that. They don't understand that. What do you mean? I control my life. I don't got time to be sitting around waiting on somebody to save me. Guess what? The Heavenly Father gave you over to that thought pattern. Let's go to the book of Sirach, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus. Chapter 6 and verse 16. A faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him. So in order for you to find him, you have to fear him. But I just read that man's goings are of the Lord. So in order for you to find him, he has to lead you to him. Okay, verse 17. Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. Let's read this again in 17. Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. And guess what? The Lord is going to direct our steps in the right way if we fear him. But in order for us to fear him, he himself has to put that spirit on us to fear him. So in order for us to be led by the Lord to the right way, we have to fear him. In order for us to fear him, he has to put that in us. That's how powerful the Lord is. Okay? Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. And seeing that it's the Lord directing our steps, fearing him, he's going to direct our steps in the right way. Okay? Just as you, if you serve the Lord, if you follow Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you're also going to lead others to follow him the right way. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. So in order for us to be led the right way, we have to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. In order for us to fear him, he has to put that spirit in us. Because even that we don't do on our own. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 7. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that have sinned before thee. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has put fear in our hearts. Fear towards him in our hearts. Most don't fear him. And that's why they're not being guided in the right direction. Fearing him is what keeps us on the right path, because he's going to lead us on the right path when we fear him. Okay? Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 6. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil. So when you fear the Lord, you depart from being evil. Departing from evil is going to prevent the Lord from having to punish you. In order for the Lord not to punish you because you fear him, he has to lead you in that direction. He has to put fear in you to where you fear him. This is the Lord's program. We are literally in the Lord's movie. Okay? He knows exactly how it's going to be played out to its fullest extent. From our perspective, we see through a glass darkly. But he has still given us enough insight to know how this story goes. And we understand that we do not control our own destiny. We don't control our destination. Okay? By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged. And by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil. When a man's ways please the Lord Yahweh, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So it's literally the Heavenly Father that controls everything. Even enemies could be at peace with you because the Heavenly Father is controlling them. He can have your enemies wanting to go to war with you because the enemies that are being raised up against you, they're being controlled by him. Okay? Paul had men who were wanting to kill him so much they didn't want to eat or drink until they could fulfill that desire. But the Heavenly Father gave those men up to be in that mind frame. Just as the Heavenly Father can cause enemies to be at peace with us. Everything comes from him. Okay? He is a power to be feared. All right? And seeing that he's the one directing our path, he's going to direct the path of his elect. He's going to keep his elect walking the right way. Okay? Once they wake up out of darkness. Proverbs chapter 2 and 7. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, again, he's the one that's controlling man's steps. Man's goings are of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So concerning the righteous, they're going to walk upright because the Heavenly Father is going to put that spirit on them through this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly, and them who walk uprightly, he is the one leading them in that path of walking upright. Okay? But see, many don't get it. Many will get confused. Like, I don't get it. What do you mean there's no such thing as free will? But yet we're going to be punished for our actions? You know, trying to comprehend the Heavenly Father, for many, it just puts them in a state of confusion in a state of being angry and more bitter towards him because they can't figure him out. Isaiah 40:28, hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. People do not get the Heavenly Father. His ways are too deep for common man. Now he has given certain of his secrets unto his prophets, to where we have some understanding. But there's also a level of the Heavenly Father that we just can't comprehend because his ways are so deep. Okay? The fact that he could put it in a man's mind to think that he has free will, but he really doesn't, that's the power of the Heavenly Father. Okay? Because if free will was really real, most people wouldn't die. They wouldn't want to die. Most people would be multi-millionaires or billionaires. Most people wouldn't be working at the job they're working at. Okay? Then people will say, well, it's all about you putting in the work and the effort. There's plenty of people who put in work and effort. For example, Issachar, being the so-called Mexicans, they're some of the hardest workers on earth. But yet, in a lot of cases, they're getting paid the less money. So why aren't more Israelites from the tribe of Issachar sitting nice, living in huge mansions? Because they work hard. Okay? Time and chance happens to everybody. And the Heavenly Father is the one setting people in their positions. It has nothing to do with how great you may be, and which predicts why you're in such a privileged position. We live in a world of fools, but these fools are multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, okay? Have multiple businesses, multiple incomes. The Heavenly Father is the one controlling everything, okay? Period. Let's go forward to Isaiah 55. We'll stay in Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 55. Let's jump back to 8. Isaiah 55 and verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. So the Lord's ways are higher than man's ways. That's why many people get caught up in their emotions. They find themselves questioning his existence. They find themselves just angry. If he's real, how could this happen? Or why does that happen? You know, all these things. Because he's the one doing it. Everything happens exactly how he wants it to happen. Okay? But then you might say, I don't get it. Well, his thoughts are not our thoughts. We're earthly. And just as we are beneath him, his ways are over us. Okay? For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So the Lord's ways are higher than our ways. Okay? And seeing that his ways are higher than our ways, people stumble at the fact that we don't control our own life. And not only that, we don't even own our life. This is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Every living creature has a spirit. The Heavenly Father, one of his names, one of his nicknames is the Father of spirits. Every single living being has a spirit. Okay? From a person to an animal to an ant. Okay? The Heavenly Father controls all of them. Imagine, an army of ants. The Heavenly Father knows every one of those ants individually. Hell, the Heavenly Father knows every strand of hair on our head individually. The Heavenly Father knows how many grains of sand are on the earth individually. This is the power that we're talking about here. We're talking about the Father of spirits. And seeing that he's the Father of spirits, that alone shows you he controls everything. Every single thing. Okay? Even trees and plants, they have spirits. Okay? Now somebody will say, see, you going off there, brother. Trees and plants and things like that don't have spirits. Where's that in the Bible, man? They have spirits. They are alive. Okay? Now they don't have spirits that go to the Heavenly Father after they die. Okay? But every living and breathing thing that's here on earth, the Heavenly Father knows all about it. He's the one controlling it. He's the one operating it. Okay? It's really that simple. Ezekiel chapter 18 and verse 4. Behold, all souls are mine. This is the Father of spirits we're talking about. Okay? Behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. And it's really that simple. You know? That's why obedience, doing what's right, is very important. But in order for us to do right, guess what? The Heavenly Father would have to be the one to lead us that way. Because he's the one controlling everything. He controls the righteous, and he also controls the wicked. All souls belong to him. Okay? From what you know as angels and demons. And the word demon really just goes into, I think the word is demon, which goes into intelligence. Typically, the right hand and the left hand could be looked at as demons in the eyes of most people because they're very intelligent. Okay? They're very, very intelligent, the right and the left. But the Heavenly Father controls and operates both sides. He controls the knockout blow and the jab. Let's go to Job chapter 23. Job chapter 23 and verse 9. On the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. So the Heavenly Father, he's working on the left hand and on the right hand side. Both sides are being operated by him. All souls belong to him. Okay? Everybody is under his control. Period. A non-believer. Okay, someone who's a straight atheist. Someone who speaks ill against him. The Lord made them do that. Okay, he put the spirit on them to be his enemy. The Lord is so powerful, he had to make his own enemies just to have enemies. Okay? On the left hand where he doth work, so he works on the left hand, not just the right, okay? On the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. And people don't even understand. The Lord controls both sides. He operates on both sides, but you wouldn't know it unless you knew. Okay? Because he's a power that hides himself. Okay? You just see the physical vessel behind something. You don't see what's actually operating everything that you see. And that's the Heavenly Father. And again, he controls the left and the right. So all those who oppose the doctrine, all those who are enemies of the Heavenly Father and his Son and the men that they've set up, he did that. Job chapter 12 and 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So if someone is going around lying to people, the Heavenly Father gave them over to that spirit. And those who believe in the lie, they've been given over to believe in that lie by the Heavenly Father. Okay? He operates through everything. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So if the deceived and the deceiver are his, well, that includes us who have the truth. It's his will whether or not someone is deceived or whether they believe. Now let's go to the book of Philippians 2 and 12. because for those of us who believe, is also his will. Philippians chapter 2 and 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God which worketh in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure. So in order for us to do his good pleasure, the Heavenly Father has to allow it. It has to be his will. If someone's deceived, that's his will. Whichever path we walk, whether good or evil, that is his will. In order for us to be walking the right path, he has to be the one directing it, because man's goings are of the Lord. The Lord can lead you to salvation, or the Lord can lead you to your own demise. But this is the power that we're talking about. This is a power to be feared. Okay? That's why it tells you here in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That's the whole duty of the Israelite man, is to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and keep his commandments. Okay? We have to keep that fear, and that fear is what he gave us to walk upright so that he doesn't punish us. All right? When we go off and do certain things, the Heavenly Father could easily just knock us off. Okay? But it's him that puts the spirit on us to not do certain things. Okay? Just as it's him who puts it on us to do certain things. It's all his will. All right? But I pray this lesson that was simple and edifying. All praises unto our power, the power of Israel, not the power of any other nation. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Wa Rakakwadash. Until next time, Lord willing, Shalom.